All right, WandaVision's over. What do I do now? Well, buddy, looks like it's just us now.
Captain Sam, can you hear me? On your left.
It's beautiful. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Disney sent me the first episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Today, we're talking no spoilers at all. I'm just going to tell you what stood out about this episode, what it sets up for the future, possibly, and why it means good things for these heroes. I need you guys in the comments down below letting me know, are you excited for this show? Could it live up to the hype? It's a tough task. Let's do it. So following the events of Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes team up on a global adventure that tests their abilities and their patience. You guys know, you saw it in Civil War. These two, they're not the biggest fans of each other, but they've really grown this bond, this friendship between them. Most of it has to do with the fact that their best friends mutually was Captain America, but also just the time that they spent together and their power sets in their own way complementing each other. You have the guy on the ground with the strength that is the Winter Soldier, and then your more agile and airborne superhero in the Falcon who can deliver on some insane action scenes when he is given the opportunity. See, that's the thing about these two characters. More so the Falcon, because I at least believe the Winter Soldier has gotten a lot of fleshing out, especially in the Captain America trilogy. But now we finally give Sam Wilson some time to shine, and that's how we are thrown into this series with an awesome, crazy action scene. The Falcon is taking on some very interesting villainous characters, but he's also showing off what he can do with his wings, and it was entertainment from the get-go. And actually, the scene felt very reminiscent of the opening action scene in Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Now, you're going to hear me make multiple comparisons to that movie. One of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I love the tone. I love everything the Russo brothers were able to do. Now, different people behind the camera here, but we have the same composer. Yes, Henry Jackman is back, and he is so good, bringing us some riveting music, providing a backdrop to these characters and their action scenes. And again, the action scenes, they're fun, they're entertaining, but then the first episode starts to take a bit of a turn, and I feel like some people will watch this and say, oh no, it's slowing down, it's becoming a bit boring, where's the action? We get started with this crazy, awesome action scene, and then we go into what our characters are kind of up to right now. Right? This series obviously takes place after Avengers Endgame, and we're sitting back wondering, where are our heroes in their lives right now? Outside of the Avengers, outside of the superhero business, something I've always wondered, okay, what do they do? Like, those are questions, those are aspects that are indeed addressed in this first episode, and we really scale back. It becomes much more subtle. We start to dive into the emotions of our two characters, doing their own thing, and I loved it. It was unexpected because I'm thinking action all the way through. And we get our action, we get our sort of sneak preview as to the plot to come. It's not thoroughly fleshed out, and I'm still kind of wondering, okay, where exactly are we going? Now, there's one moment toward the end that I think is going to give everyone an idea of where we are going, but there are a few different characters or groups of characters at play in this first episode that really lead you to believe everything is not what it seems with these heroes and their lives. But back to their lives. I loved seeing this side of our heroes without the outfits, without the costumes, scaled back and just trying to find their way in this post-blip world. It was fascinating. It's also a complete 180 from WandaVision. This is not that show. And I know a lot of people love the creativity behind WandaVision, me included. Now, everyone was kind of formulating their own thing as we went, right? Okay, what's going to happen in this episode? Is Mephisto in this show? The Mephisto and the Winter Mephisto? Who is he? And that's going to be the case probably, maybe not on that scale for this series as well, because we are going to get character introductions. We are going to get Easter eggs and cameos that are going to blow us away. And maybe there are one or two in this first episode that you guys are going to be like, oh, Oh, that's cool. Because as a big comic book guy, yeah, I was thinking the same thing as we were going. But it was fascinating. And even though it was only one episode, I get an idea that this show knows, A, exactly what it is, B, how to bring us something different with these characters, and C, exploring aspects of their lives that we've just never seen before. And that's fascinating to me. It also builds up some really cool things that have to do with their past that are going to come into play here that I absolutely loved. And in terms of the cinematography and how the action scenes were choreographed, I was hesitant going in. I'm like, yeah, it'll have a similar tone to Winter Soldier, but will it nail the action? And I don't want to say it's easy to give us the scene that we got with the Falcon where he's flying through the air. It was super cool, right? But when we get on the ground and we're handling the hand-to-hand combat, how are they going to do it? Is it going to be as good as something like the Winter Soldier? And it looks like Black Widow's going that route as well. And I will say, what we've got to see so far, maybe not as much as I wanted personally, is really, really good. And it's thoroughly entertaining. It's shot well, and it is a scaled-back version of this universe. Everything's grand. We saw WandaVision. We have the powers, people flying through the air. And we get that, but it feels more grounded in this series. It feels like more of a spy action thriller right off the bat, and I like that. You guys know I like that. You know how much I love that movie, and you know how much I'm really looking forward to Black Widow. Well, we're getting it again in this show, and it's working extremely well so far. And before I get into my score, I just want to say I'm excited. I'm excited to do exactly what we did with WandaVision. Cover the show every single week. I've already shot my reaction. Clearly, I've seen the episode, so both that and my spoiler-heavy review will go up tomorrow for the first episode, and then, of course, every Friday. But as of now, I need you guys down below. First off, if you like this non-spoiler review, this early coverage, be sure to drop your thumbs up. I would love to bring you more Disney and Marvel content. And, of course, leave your excitement down below. Are you excited for the first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? This episode sets up so many glorious things to come. While the action is thrilling, it nails the subtle moments. We get a deep dive into the lives of Bucky and Sam. It also captures the tone of that movie we've talked about multiple times, and oh my goodness. It's really hard to score an individual episode without seeing the series as a whole, so for this episode, I would go around an 8, maybe a little bit below, but it's still a great episode, a great start to what could be an awesome series. Come back as we go, and at the end of the season, I will give you my score and all of those things that kind of wrap up our thoughts. And then maybe, if all goes well, I might be doing an updated MCU tier list, including WandaVision and this series as well. So we've got a lot to discuss. Be sure to subscribe, drop your thumbs up, notification bell, all of those things, and follow me on Twitter for early reactions to movies. My next big review is probably Nobody, aka Better Call Saul, the sequel.